Welcome to the deep dive. We take your sources, boil them down, get right to the good stuff, the things you really need to know.
That's the plan.
And today we're looking at someone with, let's call it a pretty stark dual identity, maybe one of the most incredible ones in entertainment right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You've got this guy who's, on one hand, an Emmy-nominated Hollywood comedy writer.
Right.
Very polished world.
Right, writing for big shows.
Exactly. And then on the other hand, he's this outrageously successful, super explicit outlaw country musician. Just unbelievably filthy, but people love it.
It's this huge contrast. So we're talking about Benjamin Isaac Hoffman.
That's him, the writer, comedian, producer, and then there's Wheeler Walker Jr., the alter ego.
The uncensored country star. So our mission today really is to unpack this. How does one person do both? We need to look at his chart success, which is kind of unique.
Definitely unique. And understand what he's trying to do with this character. Is it just satire? Is he genuinely trying to critique modern country music, maybe even save it in his own weird way?
Yeah, it's a big question. We've got some great sources here that really lay out this wild journey.
And they start right at the beginning. Benjamin Isaac Hoffman, born in Lexington, Kentucky.
And here's a fun fact right off the bat. Connects him to music early on. His younger brother is Scott Hoffman.
Ah, baby daddy.
Exactly, baby daddy, the bassist for the Scissor Sisters. So, music's in the family.
It's in the DNA, yeah.
Yeah.
But the way Ben went about it is radically different.
Radically different is putting it mildly. So how does someone with these, legit mainstream comedy chops become one of the most streamed country artists on the planet without, and this is key, without any FM radio play? Zero.
It's incredible. And that's where we have to start, right? We need to be that foundation. Understand the Ben Hoffman side first.
The professional side.
Because Wheeler Walker Jr., he wasn't just some random idea. He was engineered by someone who really knew what they were doing.
Okay, let's dig into that. The groundwork. Because before, Redneck Shit the album, Ben Hoffman was pretty deep in the Hollywood comedy scene. And not just as a stand-up, but as a writer, a producer. He understands how TV gets made.
Oh, absolutely. His skills go way beyond just telling jokes. It's structure, production, timing, the whole package. He wasn't just trying to get on shows, he was creating them.
Right. And that foundation is, like you said, solid. He built it up over years.
Exceptionally solid. I mean, the first big thing was his own show, right? The Ben Show.
On Comedy Central, 2013.
Creator, host, executive producer, running the whole thing. That's major experience, even if it only ran for one season.
Building a show from scratch on a big network like that?
Exactly. It's the proving ground. And crucially, our sources point out, that's where Wheeler Walker Jr. actually first showed up, as a character on that show.
Ah, okay. So the seed was planted right there on his own platform.
Incubated, yeah. But then look at his writing credits. They show incredible range. He wrote for a sports show with Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald, that's a very specific kind of comedy.
Oh, yeah. Super dry, cynical, really subversive. You got to master that deadpan, that sustained character thing to work with Norm.
And that skill, that sustained character work, that's pure Wheeler Walker Jr., right?
Yeah.
Keeping that persona going for years.
Absolutely vital. But then look at the contrast. He goes from that super niche cult comedy to the Late Late Show with James Corden, peak mainstream network TV.
Wow, okay. Total shift.
He was a staff writer there, wrote 38 episodes between 2015 and 2016. Think about that adjustment.
Massive adjustment. You're going from Norm Macdonald's world to writing, clean, fast turnaround stuff for a huge, broad audience.
It shows he can adapt his voice, meet the technical demands. He knows how different writers' rooms work.
And then there's animation, too. He wrote for Archer.
Yep. Southbound and Down, Vision Quest, highly acclaimed show. Animation requires serious world building.
And it's not just sitcoms. He's got these big live event credits, too. MTV Video Music Awards, the Comedy Central roast of James Franco.
Writing for a roast. I mean, that's about finding the absolute sharpest, most offensive joke possible.
But making it work live, structuring it right.
Exactly. It's about calibrating offense for impact. He clearly understands that.
So he's got this mastery of different comedic styles, subtle satire, mass appeal, brutal jokes.
And he kept acting and producing, too. Little parts in New Girl, Arrested Development. Remember, FBI guy, #1.
Ha! Yes. Classic.
And more recently, he created and ran Hoops for Netflix. animated show.
Right. The basketball coach one. Canceled after a season, but still, he was the showrunner.
Yeah.
Building another world.
So you put it all together, you've got this Emmy-nominated producer, a guy who knows Hollywood inside and out. Contacts, funding know-how, deep understanding of media.
And that's the guy who decides to become Wheeler Walker Jr. It's fascinating how that professional stability actually fueled the rebellion.
Well, it's more than just fuel. It's the engine and the toolkit. His comedy background gave him, first, production value. That first Wheeler album wasn't some cheap demo. Dave Cobb produced it. Huge Nashville name.
Right, instant credibility.
Second, he understands narrative. Character consistency. Keeping Wheeler believable, or at least consistently outrageous, over years and albums. And third, maybe the most important thing, he knew how to execute the joke, the big, high-concept joke.
Which is?
Wheeler Walker Jr. isn't just a dirty singer. He's a long-form, multimedia critique of the entire country music industry, cleverly disguised as the crudest guy imaginable.
Okay. So the TV background gave him the skills to pull off this massive, sustained, satirical performance piece.
Exactly. He knew how to structure it, how to package it, how to make it go viral, how to make it profitable.
He wasn't just mad at Nashville. He was building a product, a very specific, very provocative product.
Designed to push buttons and make money doing it.
And that product, that glorious, filthy product, it started as that skit on The Ben Show.
Back in 2013, yeah. Performing the song that kind of became his calling card.
Eating pussy, kicking ass.
Yep. Sets the tone immediately, doesn't it?
Understatement of the year.
But, behind the shock value, there's real motivation. Hoffman's pretty open about it. He uses Wheeler to vent his frustration with modern country.
Specifically bro country. Right, that was the big target.
Exactly. We should probably define that quickly for anyone who missed that particular brig.
Good idea. So, bro country, huge in the 2010s. Think like heavy pop and hip-hop beats, drum loops.
The synthesizers.
Yeah, and the lyrics. Yep. Mostly about trucks, beer, tailgates, girls in cutoff shorts. Pretty repetitive stuff.
Very formulaic. And a lot of country purists saw it as, well, sanitized, commercialized, lacking the storytelling heart of traditional country.
Okay. So Wheeler Walker Jr. is the reaction to that.
He's the raw, unfiltered antidote. His whole backstory is built on that critique. He's the unsigned Nashville guy who was too crude for radio.
Right, the guy they wouldn't play.
And his mission, he says, is to bring back that classic outlaw country vibe, but cranked way past 11. Songs so raw that get you kicked off the Opry stage instantly.
So he's fighting the mainstream polish with extreme crudeness.
But here's the twist. He's anti-establishment, but he uses the new establishment about the internet, streaming, social media to build his audience.
Proving there's still a market for that uncensored stuff, just not through the old channels.
Precisely. And this is where the Hollywood producer brain comes back in. The launch of the first album, Redneck Shit, in 2016.
Yeah.
Super strategic.
We mentioned Dave Cobb producing, which gives it musical legitimacy.
The launch.
Yeah.
The very first place you could stream it.
Where was it?
Pornhub.
Pause. Seriously. Pornhub.
Yep. Not just some random music site. Pornhub. Think about that decision.
Okay, that's a statement. It's more than just shark value, like you said. It's marketing genius in a really weird way.
It immediately screams, the normal rules do not apply here. Forget radio edits, forget clean marketing. This is something else entirely. Deliberate, memorable, provocative.
And he put his own money behind it too, right? You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, and this quote from Hoffman really drives it home. He said, I took my fucking life savings and I gave it all to Dave and said, let's make the album without any fucking record company telling me what to do.
Wow. Okay. So he literally bought his freedom.
Bought his own uncensored voice. If a label had funded it, they would demand it changes. It would kill the whole joke, the whole premise.
Using his mainstream earnings to fund his anti-mainstream persona, the irony is thick.
It's layers upon layers. And this whole package, this complex character, he gets compared to some interesting figures.
Like who?
Well, sources mention Chinkashaven.
Okay, the raunchy musical comedy guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Then Andy Kaufman.
For the performance art aspect, never breaking character.
Exactly. Always staying in the joke. And David Allan Coe.
The original outlaw. The genuine, gritty, controversial country figure.
So Wheeler's like a blend of all three.
Yeah.
The musical skill, the commitment to the bit, and that hardcore rebel attitude.
It's smart, because just being offensive gets old quick. But if the music's actually good, and the performance is committed,
then the satire works. And it clearly did work, commercially speaking. which is kind of the next big surprise.
Yeah, let's talk about the charts, because this is where it gets really undeniable. The industry had to notice. This wasn't just an internet joke.
Not at all. That first album, Redneck Shit 2016, it sold 5,900 copies in its first week, which is decent for an indie release.
But where did it chart?
Number 9 on the Billboard Hot Country Albums chart.
Number 9, an independently funded, completely explicit album in the top 10 country chart.
Unheard of, basically, especially back then. But wait, there's more.
Go on.
It also debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Top Comedy Albums chart at the same time.
Whoa! Okay. Country and comedy charts top 10 simultaneously.
Yep. The sources say it was the first album in over a decade to pull that off. It proved he wasn't just one thing. He hit both audiences perfectly.
That's incredible. And it wasn't a fluke, right? The second album.
Old Wheeler, 2017.
Did
it again. Debuted number 10 on country, number 1 on comedy again. Stayed at number 1 comedy for 3 weeks straight.
Yeah. And sold even more first week, right? Like 700-800 copies.
Yeah. Established a pattern. This wasn't fading away. He had a real dedicated audience.
And the key thing, we have to keep stressing this, 0 FM radio support.
Absolutely none. This was all streaming, social media buzz, digital sales. It basically proved you could build a successful country music career completely outside the Nashville machine.
If the content was strong enough and authentic enough, even crudely authentic.
The audience was there, waiting for something raw, something uncensored. He tapped right into it.
So the music press, they had to react, right? They couldn't ignore top 10 albums.
Nope. Rolling Stone had the great line about the first album, called it unfathomably obscene and undeniably offensive.
Sounds about right.
But then they added it was also goddamn funny and, importantly, far from just an X-rated novelty record.
So they acknowledged the music itself had merit. It wasn't just shock value.
Exactly. That validation was huge. It framed him less as just a prankster and more as this weirdly legitimate, profane critic of the genre.
The sources call him an experiment in free speech, right? A platform against censorship.
Yeah, his success became this walking, talking argument against the sanitized Nashville mainstream.
And the reach became global, didn't it? Wasn't there a stat about streaming?
By 2021, yeah. He was reportedly the 3rd most streamed country artist worldwide.
3rd? That's insane, ahead of probably dozens of artists getting constant radio play.
Built entirely on organic demand for the explicit stuff. It shows the power of finding your niche online.
And he leaned into that digital world, right? With podcasts.
Oh, yeah, masterfully. He did all the big ones, often in character. Joe Rogan, Your Mom's House, Church of What's Happening Now, Bertcast.
Howard Stern's wrap-up show, too.
These aren't just podcasts, they're huge communities. He bypassed traditional music press and talked directly to his audience as the uncensored guy they loved.
Cultivating that authenticity, the realness, even if it's amplified absurdity, something the polished acts couldn't really match.
Totally. His success really proved that for a certain segment of the audience, raw authenticity beats slick production every time.
Okay, so if you're positioning yourself as this anti-censorship, anti-establishment figure, conflict is going to follow, right?
It's pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah.
And yeah, it found Wheeler pretty quickly, showed where the industry lines were drawn.
What was the first big clash?
Around the second album, Old Wheeler, in 2017, he was using Pledge Music, the crowdfunding site, for pre-orders, letting fans fund the uncensored thing directly.
Smart move. Direct support.
Until Pledge Music pulled the whole campaign, refunded everyone. Why? Too many complaints about obscenity.
So the platform blinked.
They did. And Hoffman, of course, framed it immediately as censorship, which fired up his fan base.
And didn't his fans do something weird in response?
Yeah. This is peak Wheeler fan base. They got angry about the censorship and decided to troll the band 311 online.
311? Why them?
Apparently, they somehow thought 311 was responsible. It makes no sense, but it perfectly shows the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Loyal, angry, maybe a little misguided, but ready to fight the perceived system.
Dedicated absurdity. Okay, but the conflicts went higher up than Pledge Music, right? Into actual Nashville.
Oh, yeah. The biggest example involves Maren Morris.
Grammy winner Maren Morris, big star.
The very same. They'd recorded a duet for Old Wheeler, a song called Fucking Around.
Okay.
But Sony Music Nashville, her label, pulled the plug. Said she couldn't be on the track. Pulled it right before the album release.
Wow. So the major label directly intervened. Our clean star can't associate with this.
Pretty much sums it up. Even though, ironically, Hoffman had actually performed with Morris and Jake Owen at a CMA Awards after party the year before. So there was some connection.
But the official association on an album, too far for some.
Exactly. It shows you the corporate firewall.
Mm.
But Hoffman found a way around it.
Yeah.
He still recorded the song. Got Nikki Lane, another great singer-songwriter, to do the duet instead. But on the album, she's credited as Casey Walker.
Ah, Casey Walker. Nice little wink there. Kept the song, avoided the label issue. Clever.
Very clever. But despite these fights, his live career just took off. The online success definitely translated to ticket sales.
He toured a lot between 2016 and 2018.
Extensively across the U.S., and not just tiny clubs. He started getting into bigger scenes, bridging gaps.
Like touring with Kid Rock.
Yeah. Summer 2018, Kid Rock and Brantley Gilbert on the Red-Blooded Rock and Roll Redneck Extravaganza tour.
Okay, that positioning makes sense. Leaning into that rock outlaw crossover audience.
Allowed him to play to that crowd, but still be the satirical voice from within it, almost. But he also got embraced by the more serious Americana side, too.
How so?
There's footage from Himmerland Music Festival in 2018. He's on stage performing Sit on My Face.
Classy.
Alongside Tyler Childers and Sturgill Simpson.
Whoa. Okay, that's significant. Childers and Simpson are like the flag bearers for modern, respected, non-mainstream country and Americana.
Exactly. Sharing a stage with them, performing that song. It shows they got the joke. They respected the musicality or the audacity, or both. He was accepted by the serious crowd.
And didn't he present an award around that time, too?
Yep. Later that year, at the Americana Music Honors and Awards, Hoffman, in full Wheeler character, presented an award to Tyler Childers.
That image is amazing. The crude satire guy honoring the critically acclaimed artist at their own award show.
It shows the complexity, right? The industry might reject the lyrics, but parts of it clearly respected the music and the whole project.
Okay, fast forward a bit. After the touring died down, there was that big incident in 2022, the protest.
Yeah, the Country Music Hall of Fame incident, classic Wheeler, really captured his whole point.
He got kicked out, right, by security.
Yep, removed from the property. Because he was protesting the Florida-Georgia line exhibit.
FGL, prime bro country example.
Exactly. He had a sign, apparently, saying FGL does not belong here.
Why? What was his argument?
His long-running argument. Their music is pop, not country. Putting them in the Hall of Fame degrades what country music is, degrades its history.
So it was a physical manifestation of his core satire, taking the fight right to the heart of the Nashville establishment.
Perfectly executed piece of performance art, really. Got tons of publicity, obviously, which only helped the narrative.
The narrative of Wheeler as the real outlaw fighting for country music's soul.
You got it. And it was the perfect setup for his comeback.
The 2022 comeback tour, which kicked off where?
At the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, the mother church of country music.
Headlining the Ryman, after getting kicked off the Hall of Fame grounds. The symbolism.
Oh, it's perfect. His first live show since 2018. And how did he promote it? By joking he wanted to get canceled.
Master of anti-marketing. Using the culture war buzzwords, ironically.
And did it work? The show sold out instantly. And, according to the sources, it broke the Ryman's records for alcohol and merchandise sales.
Broke the bar record. And the merch record.
That's what the sources claim. Which is maybe even more telling than just selling tickets.
How so?
It proves the brand is potent. People weren't just buying a ticket. They were buying into the whole Wheeler Walker Jr. outlaw lifestyle fantasy.
Yeah.
Drinking, buying the T-shirts, huge loyalty and engagement. It proved the whole uncensored satirical thing was massively profitable when you connect directly with that audience.
Okay, so let's quickly run through the actual music, the albums that built this whole phenomenon. 5 studio albums now, plus a compilation.
That's right. All credited to Wheeler Walker Jr., all part of this sustained performance.
And the chart performance was consistent, as we said. Redneck Shit, 2016.
#1 comedy, #9 country.
Ol' Wheeler, 2017.
#1 comedy again, #10 country. Set the pattern.
And WW the Third in 2018.
That one also topped the comedy chart and hit #1 on the overall iTunes country chart. Showed his strength in digital sales was huge.
Right. Then the comeback album in 2022, Sex, Drugs, and Country Music, timed with the tour and the protest.
Smart timing. Debut #1 on iTunes again, #2 on the comedy albums chart. Kept the momentum strong.
And the latest, 2023, is Rom.
Yep. And Rom is interesting because the sources mention a bit of a sound shift.
How so?
More rock-oriented, a bit heavier than the earlier stuff.
Okay, that's a potentially important evolution. Why?
Well, it keeps things fresh, right? If he just kept making the exact same traditional country parody, maybe the joke wears thin. shifting towards rock.
Which a lot of modern outlaw or Americana artists do anyway, like Sturgill or Childers dipping into rock.
Exactly. It keeps the music itself evolving, potentially broadening the appeal or just keeping his core fans engaged with the sound, not just the lyrics. Outlaw country has always flirted with rock, so it fits the persona.
Keeps the project dynamic. Makes sense. And there was that compilation too, right? Fuck You Bitch, all-time greatest hits.
Came out in 2020, mostly tracks from the first 3 albums, but had a couple of new ones, Drunk as Fuck and Go Big or Go Home.
Even the greatest hits title is perfectly on brand.
Zero subtlety. It's all marketing shorthand. And the single titles around the albums do the same job.
Like for Rem.
Singles like Money and Bitches, Dump Truck, Finger Blast.
Okay. Yep, subtle as a brick.
And for Sex, Drugs, and Country Music, you had Fucked by a Country Boy, and She's a Country Music Fan.
It really hammers home this satirical point, doesn't it? Taking those underlying, sometimes vaguely hinted at themes in mainstream country, the objectification, the simplistic view of relationships or life.
And just blowing them up, making them grotesquely literal and explicit.
The comedy comes from that extreme amplification. He's basically saying, if you guys were really honest, this is what it would sound like, stripped of the radio polish.
This is the logical conclusion of your tropes, without the corporate filter. It's a harsh critique, wrapped in the crudest possible package. Hashtag tag tag outro.
So wrapping this up, we've really traced this incredible paradox. A guy who's a total Hollywood insider.
Emmy-nominated writer, producer.
Uses all those skills and his own money to create this completely offensive, anti-establishment persona.
That becomes wildly successful, commercially viable, and even critically relevant as a form of musical commentary.
So hopefully you, the listener, now have that full picture. Ben Hoffman, the mainstream pro, meticulously crafting Wheeler Walker Jr., the ultimate outlaw.
Achieving success in both worlds simultaneously. Stability in Hollywood, rebellion in Nashville, all built on refusing to be censored.
Which brings us to that final thought, something for you to chew on.
Right. So think about that Ryman show again. Sold out, breaking records for booze and merch. Think about his total artistic freedom because he funds himself and answers to no label.
Mm-hmm.
Does that financial independence, that ability to be completely uncensored, actually make Wheeler Walker Jr., the satirical character, a truer representation of the original outlaw country spirit, that rebellious anti-Nashville attitude?
Then maybe some of the serious signed artists he's making fun of who might have to compromise more.
Exactly. Is the joke character, in a weird way, more genuinely outlaw than the real thing sometimes? Something to think about.